Look, I've had a good look through the book, which is absolutely superb. It's the translations are very good. It's in English. It's not in Chinglish. It hasn't been badly translated from Chinese. And if you're new to action cams and you're not too sure what all the bits and pieces do, because there are a lot in here, obviously, it shows you here how you assemble it all up. It's really well done. Right the way through with the helmet things and the bar things and everything. Everything's very, I think it's brilliantly done. I've seen a lot worse, that's for sure, and struggled to see a lot better, to be perfectly honest. It's great, it's small as well, so if you're new to it and you want to take this with you, it's probably not a bad idea. I did download the app and I've put it on my Android phone, and I'll have a quick run through with that after I've run through the menus and everything with you. There we go, all charged up. You charge it through the little micro USB port here. You do get the cable in with all those other accessories. I think I might have just missed it, but it's in there. If you want to put it out to your big telly or to a screen of some sort, you've got an Hdmi out. This is a mini one, or it might even be a micro one. Basically a very small HDMI, and then take it out to your usual one that you're using on your telly. The SD card is just slotted in here. I just put it in. You don't get one with it, so if you don't have micro SD cards, you need to order one when you order it, definitely. And if it does work at 4K like it does, it might well need a fast one, but once I've given it a go and given it a fly, we'll see what sort of speed it does need. Okay, so we're more or less ready to run through the menus and everything. One other thing is there's no cover over here, and on the Hdmi there's no, well, there was a cover, but it just falls off. I've had two of these now, and it falls off both of them very quickly. There's nothing to hold it on, and that's us ready to go. I think, oh, the Hdmi is a very slightly different size. I just tried this in the gimbal on the quad, and it slops around now because I've adjusted that to fit the Hdmi. So there is a very small difference in the size. It's just slightly smaller. I would imagine it's more of an exact match to the GoPro, because I had to change it to make the Hdmi fit. So just be aware of that. It's probably a good thing that it is like that. Right, let's run through these menus. Very simple to use. You've basically got the mode button here, which takes you into the menus. You go up and down with these ones, and then you select the menus with the OK, which is the shutter button as well. So just first press that, and this turns it on and off as well. If you hold it for a second or two, you get a little LED coming up there, and then it makes that noise, and off you go. You know you're in business. There we go. Always starts in video mode, and this is as it came from the factory basically. So we're going to run through the whole thing. To select a different mode, you simply press the one on the front, the little mode button. There we go. And then that moves it to photos, and it's a 16 megapixel photo apparently. And then it goes through to, which is a slow motion video. It's just a little sort of sub menu they've got there. Basically that shoots at, it's 4 times slower than you would normally shoot. So you have got a little bit of slow motion there at 720p, which is rather good. And then the next one is playback. You can play back your stills or your video on here. Obviously I haven't taken anything yet, so there's nothing on here. And then if I press the button again on the mode, you go through to your menu area. So this is the main setting area. So let's start off here, I think. Let's set the camera up properly. So we can change it anything to do with any of the functions on it basically in here. So to change it, you simply just press OK when you're over the menu, and then you can go up and down to select whatever one you want. It goes right up to 4K apparently, but that's 15 frames a second, which isn't going to be any use at all, I don't think. I will give it a go, but virtually no point at all. The 2.7K, I thought that could be quite good, and quite interested in seeing that. And obviously everyone does the 1080p, 60 and the 30. So let's leave it on the 2.7 for now. So you just simply press the OK, and then it drops back to the previous menu, and it's changed the resolution for you. Recording sound, you can turn that off. Obviously it makes your file slightly smaller. If you're using the protective case, you're not going to get sound anyway, so there's no real point. If I fly on quads, I tend not to have the sound on because all you get is the drone of the engine, so not really a lot of point. You've got a time-lapse feature on here, which is really good, and you can set that in here for how often you want the shutter to go. That's a great little thing. I like time-lapse. And loop recording. This one is for if you're using it as a dash cam in your car or on motorbike or bike or whatever, and you just want to record 2 minutes and then overwrite that 2 minutes, or 3 minutes and overwrite it. Definitely don't go into this area. I never use this area. Your problem being is if you forget about it and you do something, you go running or you fly a quad or whatever, you're really going to have a problem, because after 2 minutes it's just going to write over it again, and that would be the best flight you ever had, I bet. So I don't tend to use that at all. And you can choose what you do with the slow motion as well. So and then if we press the mode 1 again on the front, it just jumps along to the next one. So these top ones show you where you are, which is really good, I think. You can alter the how many megapixel camera you're going to be shooting. I'll leave it on 16 for now, but I will give that a little bit of a test, see what it's like. You've got timed and you've got auto, and I don't actually understand what the difference is. Even looking in the book, I don't understand what the difference is. I don't know really. We'll see how we go. But this means it waits 3 seconds before it takes a shot. I understand that. And then the auto seems to do the same as well. So I don't really understand what the difference is there, so there's bound to be something. The drama shot basically ups it to 3 frames, 3 pictures a second, or 5 or 10. So I don't know, it's not something I would use, but yes, perhaps if you wanted a rapid burst of stuff, that might be the way to do it. I would always do it on video myself, but each to their own. Along to exposure, the menus, so we can alter the exposure, and this does it on both the video and on the camera, and you basically just press that again, and then you can go up and down using the little ones there. And you've got 3-stop correction, which is quite good. How good it will be, I don't know. It depends how the camera performs and what light levels you're under, obviously. White balance, that's a great little thing to have. So if you're flying on a sunny day and you don't want the auto white balance to be changing as it goes around, you can just lock it off on sunny or cloudy or incandescent. There's loads of other ones. Because there's a gap at the bottom here, I can keep scrolling down. You see it follows me down. And it's cyclical, so it comes back round to the top again. So that's good. Image rotation, so that's handy. So if you had to shoot or hold it upside down, you wouldn't have to do it in software. You could just literally click this button and off you go. And then you can turn the Wi-Fi on all the time, or there's a little, you can use the rocker switch at any time to actually turn the Wi-Fi on. So we'll do a thing with the Wi-Fi. Actually, I'll show you what the little app looks like. It's quite good. And then it's got light source frequency. I've never come across this. I don't think I've ever paid any attention to it, but it's 50 or 60 hertz. But there's an auto, so it obviously picks what it's working on. It's probably to do with frames or the refresh rate, I would imagine, but not something I would be touching. I wouldn't imagine anyone would be, to be honest, to set it. LED indicators, so your little LEDs here, you can turn them off. I would leave them on. Auto screensaver, so that means that goes off after 30 seconds, but I think of it just a quick test to make sure everything's working okay before I did this bit, and it actually goes off when you're recording. So after 30 seconds the screen goes blank, but it's still recording. That's kind of worrying if you're holding it up as an action cam and you're trying to look at what you're doing. Obviously if it's on the back of the quad it's not going to matter because it's away from you, but just be aware if it goes off it can still be recording. There we go, like that. Just to prove me right. Auto shutdown, so after 5 minutes if you haven't pressed any buttons or done anything it will shut down, and you can alter that as well. 5 minutes is good, I would have thought. Time watermark, now this is on as default. I don't like this at all, so it will basically put a timestamp on your video or on your still images. So, and it's just there all the time. I don't know why you'd want it, but if you do want it, this is where it is. I am definitely going to be turning that off. I don't want that on mine. And that says all the way around. Then if I press the Next one, we come across to the actual settings. So basically the language, you can choose any language obviously. Date and time, we need to set that because it would be set incorrectly. As I've done already, basically you just scroll up and then and you choose your keys, and then okay, and first, and that's us all done. So the date's set. The format will format your micro SD card, so that will wipe every image off it. So just be careful with that. It will warn you if you go into there. I like factory reset to factory settings. I think it's a brilliant thing because basically you can just clear everything that you've done. So if you've played around with all these menus and you've moved stuff and you don't know what you've done, or your pictures are coming out weird, if you reset it, it won't wipe your micro SD card, but it does just reset it to factory settings, so that's good. There we go. So that's everything, and then you get along to the last one, which is exit. Basically you press OK then to get out of that one, and then automatically we come back into the video mode.